I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
The Madness Comic Network and comic-related madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant on YouTube.
Yep. Guess what day it is? It's Tuesday, my friends. Oh my gosh, it's great to see you. Although I gotta say, it is so freaking cold out. It's like too cold to human. I would like to spend the day being a burrito. I think that's a great option. I would like to be a burrito today. Yes. I want to give a couple shout outs this morning before I started talking. I want to give a shout out to this way. Geek Out in Burleson and in Mansfield, Texas. It's a great store if you like nerd things, including comics. Charles Boyer is a friend of mine, and they carry Path of the Pale Rider all the time. So if you're looking to pick up a copy in the wild and you're down in Fort Worth area, please stop at Geek Out. They carry everything, tabletop games, card games, books, minis, manga, plushies, food, you name it. They got all the things. It's a really cool place to hang out. I enjoy it there. Just in case you were living under a rock, Path of the Pale Rider is going live in like less than 2 weeks for issue 6. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're this far. We're like, this is halfway through the first arc, which is amazing. And the next issue is my 100% favorite issue in the first 12, which is that issue number 7. So yeah, it's a snow day in Texas. In the south, are you? Yeah, because Lou is farther down, so she got snow. Funnily enough, I'm farther north and we did not get snow. It's just so freaking cold. I can't stand it. But anywho, let me drop the link here. If you guys haven't signed up for pre-launch, here's where you do it. I'll put the link there for you. Gosh, we have so many ideas of cool stuff. In fact, I dropped an idea on my Facebook page just this morning, like 15 minutes before the show. You tell me, guys, do you think, what if we brought back Pogs? I know this is crazy, but if we made Path of the Pale Rider Pogs, is that something that you would like? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like I get excited about things and then it's like and then nobody else. I mean, you know what I mean? So you tell me what you think. Would you like Pogs? Because we could do it. We're doing all sorts of other stuff on this campaign. In case you aren't aware, of course, we have hot sauce. We got all sorts of new t-shirt designs. I think I did 5 t-shirt designs. Gosh, crazy. We got, of course, new Funko Pop is coming, new secret reward, wooden covers. I have some unique items that are going to be on the campaign. So this beautiful mug, there's only one of these, and there will only be one. I'll make more mugs, but they'll be different colors and probably different styles. But this is the one and only blue one. I'm going to be redoing Jurassic Park. I'm going to be rebinding. This is just a picture of a rebound book because I'm planning on doing the rebind of Jurassic Park during campaign. So you guys can actually watch me do it, which will be fun. We have swag bags. Gosh, we have all sorts of stuff. New flavor of hot sauce. New poker cards. Look at this bad boy. He's so cool. I don't know if you saw this, but we're going to be doing some scratch and sniff stickers. Now, these aren't the designs. Gilbert was working on them. So I actually got the designs yesterday. And that's how the Pogs kind of came up. He was like, these remind me of Pogs. Yeah, I know. Pogs are kind of dead. Would it be reminiscent or is it just like, forget it, Laurie, spend your time elsewhere? Yeah, that's my thought. Maybe I just make a set for myself because I think they're funny. Maybe I'll make a set for Gilbert just because it's his idea too. Also, if we get up to 8,000, which we haven't done that yet, but if we get up there, there's a Big James standalone short. They're like 8 pages. It's nothing huge, but it's from Big James' story. You know what I mean? Like it's him just destroying buildings and running people over and turning them into hamburger. So we could release some pages from that. Anyway, so that's kind of what's coming. And I want to be, do I do it? I don't know. I want to be vulnerable with you guys for a moment. Every campaign, and John's in the background, I'm sure he feels this too. So every campaign, you spend all this time promoting this pre-launch link. And I feel like my people just don't sign up for pre-launch, but that imposter syndrome always kicks in. Like maybe they didn't like what I did last time, and that's why they're not signing up for. I don't get it. I don't get it. But my campaigns always do great. So I don't know if I put stock in that pre-launch number. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna bring in John. You guys tell me what you think. Do Do you put stock in that pre-launch link, John? Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I
Hey.
do, and you're right. Sometimes the burden of success is people are less likely to click that link. But
Yeah.
it does help. Just so people know, it helps get the word out. It helps boost that algorithm if you know jump in there early and back early and go to the link. But yeah, it does seem like as sometimes longer series go on, people are even less excited to kind of. They're like, yeah, I'll get it when I get it, which is fine. Get it when you get it. That's the most important part. But
Well, and I think part of it is I'm so active online that I start announcing the day we're gonna launch, like, probably 30 days prior to. So people are like, I don't have to sign up because you'll just tell me when you launch. And then, of course, if they back something else, they automatically get an email that says back another project by Laurie Calcaterra. So I don't know. My people just don't like that pre launch link. Like, I don't know. It just messes with my head. I'm always successful. I'm always funded, but it's just like, should I be working harder on that? Or I don't know. It's like with campaign is such an emotional roller coaster.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think it's something you want to think about, right? Am I doing enough to get them excited about it early in the campaign? So but
Yeah.
I would again, most of us kind of see that decline, so I wouldn't put too much into it. It's more important when it's a new series, right? Because you want to make sure you got
Yes.
enough people interested and excited. But
Right.
as the series goes on, sometimes it does change. So it's good to put some thought into it, but amongst the other worries we have with these things, it's probably lower on the totem pole.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we usually do a good job giving people an experience during campaign, like the whole slice and dice and all the cool merch that we have. And I mean, hot sauce, you can't get that anywhere else. But it's just, you do what you can to stand out and to be different and to, exceed expectations. So, and I mean, like you're in it right now, aren't you?
I'm right in the mix, and I mean, this
God.
is something we can talk about too. My most hated thing and that what I struggle with is the video.
Yes.
And I have wonderful people who've given me feedback, including the awesome Matt Campbell from Action Line.
Yes, he's great.
He's great. He gives you a thorough review, and he and his co-host Smurf are very invested in videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And they're spot on. You could spend some more time, but my current video has 10 plays. I love you 10 people who played it. Most of you watched it the whole way through. I think at this point, again, people kind of know what they're getting. So I kind of just put the little blurb at the beginning, and then I talked about some of the rewards, and then I moved on. Took me 30 minutes to edit, moved on with other stuff. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at in the process too. I think
Yeah.
those things are important. Maybe my first video was extremely important to people, maybe even the second. But at this point, I think it's diminishing returns at this point, and I've got to see the writing on the
Mm.
wall. And I didn't get to say this to Matt because the show was live, but yeah, sometimes we have to. We just have to say, you know what? If I invest 8 hours and $500 into making the best video in the entire world, is it gonna tick up? Well, I'll probably never know because at
Right.
this point, I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah, and I guess it just all depends on your audience too. You know what I mean? Like my
yeah,
audience, I change the style of my video all the time where sometimes like I run myself over with a car. Sometimes it's me talking, sometimes it's animated. So I change it all the time. So a lot of people watch my videos for the hijinks. Like what orifice is she gonna bleed out this time? You know what I mean?
and I think
Um
you made the right decision early on. You made that's part of your thing. You're also into
mhm,
videos and acting and stuff like that. So you made it a whole encompassing part. So that's good. You continue to keep up with that and make it better. And people expect that, I think, going into your videos. But some people don't even have one nowadays. I mean, that was a huge faux pas early on, right? That you have to have a video, but
Yeah, and I mean, they talk about it so often, like, Kickstarters with videos tend to be, like, 80% more successful, and it's like, "Really?" But then it's like, if nobody watches it, who cares? I just had to put this one up here, it's Tom Hutchinson, he was looking for the hand just for you, I'm sure. He was like, "I'm looking for that hand and just to say hi," and of course,
do the
because
two
this is
hands,
your
all right? We
shtick,
do the
this
two
is your
hands.
shtick, right? Oh, everybody's in the chat this morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ronan. Can we talk about where you design your shirts? I actually do my own shirts
In her garage.
in my garage, actually in my kitchen.
That's often the answer to where Laurie designs stuff is
In
somewhere
my
in her house.
kitchen and with my dog asking me to go outside. He wants to go in and out that door 7,000 times. But yeah, I make my own shirts, and that's how I can get away with doing like 5 new designs campaign. I have a problem. I'm not as bad as Corissa Grant, but I'm close. Good morning, Nam.
No, but you're DIYing it, so you can take risks and do that kind of stuff and offer. She's buying, and I'm buying. I bought these stupid things, and
Those are awesome,
so.
though. Yeah, I'm not making plushies by myself. I draw the line somewhere. Lou says, I'll be honest. See, I think this is it. And you know what, John? And the other thing I think is that a lot of my backers, my readers are older. So they're not all tech savvy either, where it's like they're not on Kickstarter all the time. So same thing. It's like, I'll be honest about the sign up. I can remember my password. I just watch for stuff to show on Kickstarter app and I'm already logged in. Yeah. So I have people that call me, like I launch and they call me to make sure they're doing the right thing. They're that age.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Links always to sign me in. I know. And I don't want to irritate people, but I also want to, that's the fine line too. It's like, how do you promote yourself without irritating people? But my philosophy is the algorithm is always suppressing. And if I post every day, you might get half or less of what I post, You want a POTPR bumper sticker? What orifice am I going to bleed out this time? Sounds like a visit to the doctor.
If you'll buy it, she'll put it on a bumper sticker.
Do it like Laurie. Oh, thanks. That's a new.
Nobody does enough bumper stickers. The large stickers are so expensive.
Can we make them ourselves? That's the question.
Probably. You would be the one to ask. You find a way to make.
I think I could do it. You got to get the special kind of vinyl paper that you can print on. But then, yeah. Nam, we could totally do that. That would be hilarious. What's up, Nam? So, John, when were you on last? In the fall?
Yeah, I feel like August-ish, September-ish.
Okay. Beginning of the fall. That's another bumper sticker. Yeah. So how have things been going since you were on last time?
Well, great. We were able to fulfill all 5. They were actually ended up being 6 campaigns, but one of them was launching one twice on Zoop and Kickstarter. So we did actually 6 campaigns last year, including one for the last thing we talked about was our convention, Indie Comics Expo.
Yes.
Which was not planned ahead of time to start the year, but we did. So we ended up doing 6 campaigns last year. We got those all wrapped up. Everybody's out. Not too many lingering or problems with the mail and delivery. So I'm always happy to go into the next year with a clean slate. Got most of my scripts written for this year. We got 5 on the slate for this year. So Drumsticks of Doom, Band on the Silver Mountain, number 2 of 3, is the first of 5 campaigns again this year. So we're jumping right back into, I said I was going to take my foot off the gas this year. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Drumsticks of Doom is taking a couple years. We really need to get going through these issues. And
when you have 5 or 6, 5, you have 5 different properties, right? 5 different comic books that you cycle through. It's like you got to start early in the year if you're going to get through all of them, right?
Right. Currently, we have 3 ongoings.
3,
we're going to be wrapping up at least one this year. So yeah, that's part of it, right? You can't just let them sit forever. I want to keep people excited and get the readers new books into their hands. So, and then we decided we had a one shot that didn't end up coming out last year, so we pushed it to this year. So it'll work out. But yeah, I probably need to stop taking on those extra projects and finding a way to sneak them in and focus. But you know what fun is that?
What I do that too, where my poor editor, where she's like, when's the next, 'cause I start working on stuff and then I take a break of my own thing so I can go do other people's stuff. And she was like, when are you finishing this thing you promised me? And I was like, I don't know. I'm doing this for so-and-so.
I don't know.
I was like, this sounds way more cool than what I was working on when I got stuck. And she was like, Laurie, but it's so hard to say, I'll pass on that when it sounds like it's be a fun time,
That's what I did with anthologies last year. I was so honored to be invited to 3 different ones. I just felt like I had to fit them in and had to work them out because it's just nice to be invited to I hadn't in the first 15 years of my career been invited very much, and now I had 3 in 1 year, so I was excited to participate. So, and those aren't thankfully other people are publishing them, so it wasn't a heavy burden or anything. Just get the script out, work with the artist, letter it,
Right.
and then get it out there. But that all adds up. That's part of why I've been trying to do like the scripts at the end of the year, make sure they're close to finished.
Yeah.
Because I know that the artists, if I'm telling them we're going to work together and they're expecting it at a certain time, I work with a lot of artists who are full-time artists, and I don't want to mess with their finances, their schedule, their everything, and say, I didn't get to it. So I've been trying to get in the rhythm of get the scripts done by January 1st. And then the madness of the year with all these campaigns and stuff like that won't interfere with it as much. Then I can just focus on publishing the books. I do letter my own, so I got to do that as well. And so it's worked out the last couple of years. And again, I've got all the scripts done and everything's in some stage of production at this point. So
nice.
It's going to be an exciting 2025.
See, every time you're on, I tell you this, but it boggles my mind the organization skills that you have to be able to manage. I was like, I just do my own, and like Travis does the giant anthology, right? And I was going to ask you if you're still watching, Travis, when is that one going to come out? The next fairy, Cthulhu. I can never say that word right. Cthulhu?
Close enough. I don't think you're supposed to be able to say it.
I was like,
a human being.
I think it's actually like, like it's a groan, right? Because it's not human.
Right.
But Invades Fairyland is supposed to be coming out soon too, and like, that's I'm excited for that.
Travis, thanks. You invited me and Emily Reset back for that again, so
cool.
We'll have a story in there.
That was my second anthology ever, so I was very excited to be a part of it too. He says we got a little behind from last one. That's okay. Yeah, okay, March, April. Gotcha. Just so I'm like, did I miss something? Am I not paying? Because I'm not paying attention. Let's be honest. I'm doing my own like Kickstarter prep land. That's where I'm at. Oh yeah, the preview. Yay! I'm so excited. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, we had fun with that. Sorry, diabolical grin. Anyway, so yeah, it's hard to say no to stuff like that. But again, the organizational skills that go along with how many stories are in that is just insane. And people like yourself that are one of, I gotta call you one of the hardest working people in indie comics today, because I see you grind and I see you on every platform you can. You're on Kickstarter, you're on Zoop. Have you been on Fund My Comic?
Not yet.
Not yet. That one, okay, but you've been on Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've done it all. You've run the gamut. I've got to say, you're probably one of the best people to pick your brain. And I think I picked your brain at one point too. Like, what do you think about this? And I don't know.
Well, and I definitely love to share the experience. I had some amazing people that helped me early on. And of course, yeah, if you ever want to pick my brain, it comes with age, comes wisdom, whether you want it or not. So I'm happy to share it because I am getting up there in years.
What? I think I'm older than you. Stop it.
Nah, I'm
How old are
pushing
you?
44 this year.
So am I.
Oh, okay. Well, you got into the game a little later. I was lucky to find some people early on, but that's all right.
Yeah. No, I didn't publish until I was, I think, 42. Was I 42? Yeah. The Meaning of Life was the year that I published. But I still have all my own like brown hair. Like it's not white yet.
No,
So it's like
you could probably see the grays coming over here, but
I can get away with looking.
Maybe that's from A Life of Comics. But yeah, you say organization. I don't intimately know Travis's routines, and I know he gets to focus on this a few more hours a week than some of us. Yeah. But I think he'd probably agree. In order to be successful and appear organized, you have to be comfortable with disorganization. Right? You have to be comfortable with.
Wait, did you hear what he said, guys? To appear organized. Yes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is all an illusion. Okay. If I pan to the left, you'll see boxes and packing stuff and shit everywhere. This is all an illusion. You have to be comfortable with balancing the plates, right? And yeah. I didn't really intend to be like that ever. I'm not the most organized person in my personal life. But with comics, I was thrust into doing an anthology early in my career. I kind of took it on, not really knowing much, and it kind of just jumping into it really helped. Like I felt very satisfied being able to take on the challenges, figure out Photoshop and all those things I didn't know early on, and get the project done. and people are like, oh gosh, you're so great at it. You herded the cats. We've tried to do this before and we couldn't do it. And again, I just like being seen as the project completer. So that's kind of why,
Yeah.
I have tons of notes in my phone, and, I'm constantly like emailing or messaging people, where they're at. And I think if you're just comfortable with that, it might be my career choice. I'm a social worker. You got to be able to adjust on the fly, and there's always chaos and something else coming up. So maybe that translated over a little bit. So when I do comics,
yeah.
that's not like life threatening to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
if there's a mistake made, we can correct it. If something needs to be pushed back, I'm the publisher. We can push it back.
Yeah.
I like to set deadlines because that helps. I think it helps me, again, stay professional and understand that I'm not just working with myself. Other people are relying on me. But in the end, again, if an artist comes back to me and says, I couldn't get it done, can I have 2 more weeks? We'll work it out.
Right.
It's not the end of the world. But yeah, you just have to be
Comics.
comfortable saying, okay, I've got letters done on this, and this one's coming in this. And I don't know why that comes second nature in this world, when, again, in my real life, it's not so much.
Well, I think it's definitely your occupation with social work. It's like triage. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
you have all this information that's incoming, and then you have to put what's most important first, but you have to be able to filter it all through your brain. Does it ever get overwhelming at times? Do you ever? I do. I feel that way. I feel that way today, actually.
Yeah. I've been feeling a little overwhelmed yesterday and today, but
Yeah.
that's more outside stuff. But yeah, it does. Sometimes you forget, like late in the year. I had kind of let the anthology story slip away, and I hadn't really checked in with my artist in a while. And it was like, oops, then I felt bad because I felt like I was holding up the project. So there's times
Yeah.
where you're like, why did I take on that one extra thing? Or why did I agree to do this? So there's definitely times where, it causes anxiety, a couple restless nights or things like that. But again, in the grand scheme of the world, this is good stress, right? This is ultimately going to be fun things once they come out. So it doesn't impact me that much. But there's definitely times where I've been like, why did I take on that 3rd or 4th or 5th extra project?
Yes. And usually it's when my kids are like, we haven't seen you in like 4
geez.
days. It's like,
Well, and that
yeah.
is when it gets stressful, right? When you're like, you set up a show or something, and then I'm reminded, oh, you were supposed to take the kids somewhere, and it's like, then I have to cancel the show or, disappoint the kids. So there's times where
Yes.
you want to be
Time.
mindful of that, right? There's other people in life that depend on you. So there's definitely some additional stress. But again,
Right.
now my kids are older. They like it. They like to, look at the pictures and see what I'm working on and talk to me about it and play with their stuffies and stuff like that. So
He's dying to
that
show
helps.
you guys his alligator. We haven't gotten there yet. I'm going to make him wait. That's the coolest thing, by the way, and we'll talk about it, but we're not there yet. Lou wants to know how you managed to look so young. Do you have a skincare regimen?
Well, I've transitioned into a much better job. It's probably my
Ah.
low resolution camera that I definitely don't look as young as you think. I got the bags under my eyes and wrinkles, and my kids are teasing me. I got the Reed Richards salt and pepper going on. But thank you.
That's distinguished in men, so don't you worry about that.
I
You
did
can leave that alone.
transition to working with Medicare and Medicaid, which is a little
Oh.
bit less triage and a little less chaotic. I think that's helped kind of extend my life, because there was definitely a point in my late 30s where I was like, can I continue to work with, the most challenging cases? It definitely it can be tough.
Yeah. I could see that. It's funny. I read it was a zombie novel by a friend of mine who is also a social worker, and she worked with juvenile delinquents. And I thought of you because of your other book, the Child
Yeah,
Possession Services.
possession
Hello.
services,
I was like,
very
chime in
heavily.
right there.
And that is wrapping up this year too.
Yeah.
And the schedule it's scheduled for May of this year. So if people are excited about that, that's very heavily influenced about my day job, which I realized people weren't going to read about. So, I made it social worker for possessed children instead, which is more exciting. I've not actually worked with possessed children, but I have wondered sometimes.
That's interesting to me too, where it's like, how many people have you come in contact with if you were like, okay, if we were 50 years in the past, this would be labeled exorcism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
70 years? How far back? I don't know. But like, if you look
Not
at
as
some
far
of
as you
these
think.
conditions, yeah. How far back?
Right.
Yesterday,
Just a couple weeks ago.
just a couple weeks ago, we thought that needed a priest involved. But it's
Mhm.
interesting to me to learn like some of these cases or some of these just unfortunate, I don't know, condition, I guess you would call it, that it's like these poor people suffer through. And it's like, can you imagine if we strap them to a bed and tried dousing them in holy water? It would do nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aggravated.
One of my first jobs out of college with my bachelor's was working with persons with intellectual disability. And the owner of the company started the company because he was part of some of those experiments where they would test on the developmentally delayed surgeries. And
What
he
the?
was an orderly who would wheel them, to the surgeries. And he became so horrified that he's like, someone has to protect these people. He started an agency. And that was a very inspiring story for me.
Holy
And there's
shit.
a lot like that. If you talk to people who've been in the field, 40, 50 years, it wasn't that long ago when we were doing things
Yeah.
like that. And
And that's scary, isn't
electrocuting
it?
people because they were, identified as homosexual. And it's
What the
horrible.
fuck? It's like,
We are
yeah,
not
we don't
that
care
far
about
away. We're
you. We're
not
just
as
gonna,
evolved as we like to think we are.
yeah. What? That's how they used to treat menopause? They used to just electrocute people? Please
That I
explain.
don't know, but I'm
I don't
sure
know.
they thought it was something was wrong with you, or you had no value anymore because you were,
Yeah, they see,
changing
but that's
hormonally.
I was just talking about this because I was talking about Path of the Pill Rider and like how humanity, it's like the whole thing of when we stop seeing each other as humanity is when the problem starts, right? And so that's a prime example where it's like these people aren't human. They can't communicate, they can't consent or deny. Let's run experiments on them. We could further science. It's
Oof.
for a good cause. And then crimes against humanity happen.
Yeah.
Oh, the holy water.
Oh,
You
yeah,
would
yeah.
do exorcisms for menopause?
Probably.
I mean, I could see that. Like, I'm having a hot flash. She's a witch.
She's a witch burner.
You're having a hot flash. Burn her at the stake. She knows math. Burn her at the stake.
Yeah, right. She knows, man. She knows
Well,
how to read.
oh, we have taken a dark turn this morning. See, it's too
Right.
cold. Let's not human. So let's switch gears. So Jon is also a musician. And we've talked a little bit about your musical days in the past, but remind everybody about your band days, the heydays. Like I would love to see pictures of you with the band outfit. Let's be honest.
I probably have some around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Found some in an old box recently. My kids did not believe that I
Mm.
looked the way I did with the piercings and the, whatever. But
Yeah. Let's change
yeah,
the
I,
subject, right?
about 14 years old, I had some friends that had a musical instrument. We wanted to start a band. I said, okay, I'm going to play bass. We ended up in a band with 2 bass players. Can't have a band with 2 bass players. Some bands don't even want 1 bass player. So, I enjoyed that, but my brother had a drum set. He had started playing drums, and kind of asked him if I could use it. Our band needed a drummer, and that was kind of how I started. I've played drums since I was about 15 years old, so started a little later, but I was in a band up until I was about 30. First kids were born. You have practice, you're waking up the baby. Yeah. It kind of peters out, living in the
Real
townhouse at the
quick.
time.
Yeah.
I still have the
You
equipment set
shut
up.
the
And
heck up.
the kids and I jam out once in a while, but yeah, most of my adult years have been being in a band. It was a huge part of my life. We never
Yeah.
really went anywhere, but it was just, when are we playing next? When are we going to practice, write new songs, change the name, band members in and out. It was just a huge part
Mm.
of my life. It's actually part of why I got into comics is that was kind of winding down, and it was like, okay, what other creative things, would I like to
Okay.
explore? Because that's really what it was about for me. I never had any delusions of grandeur of, playing Madison Square Garden or anything like that. But
Yeah.
it was definitely a huge outlet for me to make friends and to hang out with my friends and to create something was really cool. So that was kind of where comics came in to fill that void, and probably why
Yeah.
I've done it more and more as I've gotten older.
It's interesting to me the feeling you get from live music. Listening to the radio is one thing, but when you actually like go to a concert or play live music, it's a how would you even it's transcendental. I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but it'll make you feel feelings, right? I
It'll
mean,
make you feel feelings, and to me, to play music, to watch people playing music is probably one of the only things of value that humans can add to the earth. I think it's the greatest thing we've done yet, and I just love it. You're right. There's something spiritual about it, when people
Yeah.
get together to see other people play live and
In
to
when
play music. It's just nothing can really replicate that. Maybe playing live sports, I guess, maybe, but
mm,
there's just something
depends
about
on the sport.
playing and seeing music. I just love it endlessly.
It's such a communal experience too, where it's like we all have the same emotional connection at the same time because whoever's playing is pouring their heart and soul out on stage, and it's like we feel it, and then like the people next to you and the people next to them, it's like we're all together in this moment, and so it's such a interesting thing, human experience. So, yeah, Lou, exactly. This is what you get when you go see live music. So, I mean, to have that in your life, and I totally get where it's like you don't want to give that up. You don't want to give that up. That's an outlet. But comics, yeah, is that other outlet for us too, where it's like we get to pour our heart and soul into it, and we get to tell a story and make people feel feelings. Do you put your trauma in your comics like I do?
Yeah, there's always, they say, you don't have to be your characters, and I do believe that, but there's always a little bit or a lot of it, and some characters are more than others. You just, you feel that connection, and it is you can't help it, right? It's part of why we write, to share our human experience with others.
Yes.
When maybe it's harder just to kind of sit down and talk about it, you can kind of sneak it in there,
Yeah. Well, I like to traumatize people with my trauma. I always tell them if I had to go through it, so do you. Sorry. I'm afraid of bears. I'm afraid of insects. I'm afraid of dementia. There you go. Oh,
Mm.
I should have put that on all of them. Here, let me put that again. I want to give you guys the link to Drumsticks of Doom. We're on Band on the Silver Mountain 2 right now. And here it is, everybody. You can click that link or just go to Kickstarter and look up Drumsticks of Doom. Kicking butt and taking names. 16
Heck
days to go.
yeah.
How long was campaign? 30? 28?
23.
23. I
We've
know.
been shaving a little bit off each time, but not
Yeah.
quite as low as some people. But I like to give it a full, 3 weeks, but kind of cut out one of the slower weeks.
Yeah. I
Just
feel
people,
you.
like you said, especially I tried to cut it back a little bit more, but then I'm also realizing that some of it is getting the word out to previous backers. Does when not as many people sign up at the front end, you
pre-launch.
gotta give them time to check it out. But
Yeah.
there's also late pledges. We also sell on our site, of course. So we've always got ways to get people to book.
Yeah, but I always remind everybody, especially on this show, that this is the most important time for creators is running these campaigns. So some people are like, yeah, no, I wish I'll just go pick it up after it's done off your website. It's like this is what guarantees that it gets to that website, this
Yep.
campaign.
That is a
So,
very good point. I don't know if people really understand the work that goes in behind the scenes. We would
no.
not do this if it wasn't necessary because it is a lot of extra work. I wish I could just post it on my site and people would get excited and 250 people would come. It doesn't ever happen that way. So we go to the social media, we go to crowdfunding sites because it
We
is
need
an
you.
event.
Yeah.
It gets people excited and having that guaranteed money up front helps the projects keep moving. So you're right.
Yes.
Like if we don't make this one, like the whole year will be downhill. So it's
Right.
definitely is the most important thing. It's a huge part of getting that funding going for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell people this all the time, and I'm trying to train my crowd where it's like when you come early. The sooner that we are funded, the sooner that the algorithm from Kickstarter pushes us to the front and
Yep.
will recommend us to other campaigns, and it's just so important to hit that goal as soon as possible, and but your goal is 4,444. I love how yours are. You just pick numbers, and I know that there's like this is what it will take to make the comic, but you make it funny too. So what?
I couldn't resist that. I don't know why.
No? Okay.
Really, really, honestly, the real amount I need is around 5,000, but I always set
Yeah.
it a little bit lower, make sure we hit the goal. But with prices going up, I usually do 4,000 on Drumsticks of Doom campaigns, about 3,000 on the others. But this one, we needed a little extra, so I just kept typing fours, and I was like, I'll leave it. So yeah, it's actually not. It's about 20% less than what we actually need to
Yeah.
get things fully covered. But again, we do well at shows and afterwards. So I'm okay with, setting the goal just to make sure it gets there.
Yes, Chris knows, because Chris is one of us and is a creator, has done tabletop games and comics and novels. And he's like, if you want it, just back it. It doesn't get made without the help of the people. And so, yeah. But I mean, it comes along with the whole, it's the game. It's the game we play. We make things cool and interesting, exciting for people. Hopefully they find us because we got cool stuff, but you got to know we exist, right? So Drumsticks of Doom. I want to play the video. Hold, please.
Oh, one of our 11 plays. Hooray. It's definitely not up to your level, but it's got a nice intro that my buddy did for me.
You know what, though?
Hello, and then it's just my face to the campaign for Drumsticks of Doom, Band on the Silver Mountain, issue 2 of 3. This is the second miniseries for us from Part-Time Comics. I'm Jon Westhoff. I am the co-creator, writer, letterer, and publisher at Part-Time Comics. And I thank you so much for joining us. We'll keep this one quick and dirty. We want you to jump back into the campaign. We've got trade paperbacks if you missed them. We've got the awesome metal covers as well, including for the new issue. Dan and I have been working hard behind the scenes to get the second issue out, and then followed up by the third and final issue of this arc, which will lead us into the final arc in 2026. So if you haven't tuned in before, Drumsticks of Doom is what if Black Sabbath, not the Beatles, became the most popular band in the world, and thus the universe was changed forever, musically and otherwise. Our main character, Lana, she just wants to make her independent music in a heavy metal world when she's thrust into a war to keep heavy metal on the top of the charts. So we've been having a great time. This is technically the 6th issue in the series. You can get all the back issues, but you can always jump in wherever you want with this series. Just like any comic book, you can pick it up and make it your first one, but we have all the back issues here. We've got Argyle plushies. He's been a huge hit for the series. We've got Argyle stickers. This is the first time in the campaign. These were designed by me, actually. And we've got Argyle 3D Argyles for you. So this one's all about Argyle and getting the love of that character from the book out there into the world. But there's so much more. Tune into the campaign. I'll leave you with the awesome art by Laura Helsby, Dan Doherty, and our amazing variant cover artist, Andy Vanderbilt. Yeah, nothing too fancy.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
Just give them the pitch, show them some stuff. And yeah, again, that's usually like the Saturday before a campaign goes live. I go, oh crap, I forgot to do a video. Let me work it out. So thankfully, one of my buddies who's tech savvy gave me an awesome intro there. I know people sometimes cringe at the copyrighted music. Sorry if you get a hit for that, it'll have to mute it.
Oh, there. We did. We will.
I know people don't like that when they play it, but I apologize for that. But, you know, Ozzy Osbourne told me there's no such thing as bad publicity. So I'm hoping I get some lawsuits or cease and desist letters or something.
Well, the problem is that they just take the whole video down and then nobody sees you, which is the problem.
YouTube, they'll just let you mute it. You just click the thing and it mutes it, which is nice. Yeah, because I already put it up on mine and it did that.
Gotcha. All right.
Wow.
Okay, so let's take a look. Interior pages are always gorgeous. I mean, like, I've never seen a bad comic from you. Like, I mean,
well, thank you. I don't have many talents, but I do have an eye for artists, and that's what I really think is one of the keys to success is get you a world-class artist, and they'll make you look good. And Dan is nothing short of that. I'm so grateful that he has time to work. That for better or worse, he hasn't. The world hasn't recognized his greatness quite just yet, as much as he should be.
Yeah, because, that's how I lost Marco. Yep. Someone else was like, hey, I got an offer you can't refuse. And I was like, God dang it.
I'm just waiting for Dan to tell me that too. But he works out. He likes Drumsticks of Doom. He's a musician himself. That's part of why I wanted to work with him. We've been friends for a while. So it's working out so far. We're about halfway through the series too. So he's got about 4 or 5 issues left. So hopefully we can get through all the way with he and I working together.
And I love that. One, he's a musician, so he gets the culture behind it. So the mannerisms, the hairstyles, the life that they're living, he's not missing the mark. You know what I mean? Because you have artists that need references a lot, but if he's a musician as well, he gets it. So you don't have to like very heavily watch what he's producing, because that happens.
Yes,
And
absolutely. That
just
was very important for me,
yeah.
not just that he can draw the gear and stuff like that, which he can. He can draw anything, but that he understands the body language, how they hold the instruments,
Yeah.
what it's like when you're really, singing your heart out on stage, all those things. I do have to sometimes give him tips on the drums, even though he has a drum set for his drummer in his basement. I sometimes have to remind him.
But I mean, like, drumming
That's
is
not how
its
you
own
set up a heavy
thing.
metal drum set, all right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not
These guitar
playing
players,
drums,
they don't know. They don't even pay attention.
no,
They're like, "Is there someone behind the drum set?" I don't care.
no. If you're not I mean, the guitarist, honestly, they think they're by themselves. Them and the singer, they're the only two
And
that
he
think they
so,
matter.
he don't no, I'm just kidding.
The
He's very
bassist is like, "I'm here." They're like, Who are you? What's
whatever.
your
Just
name?"
play the same thing I play without chords. Shut up and stand out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he's not like that.
yeah. Nobody cares. Alright, so the band, there's Dan.
There's Dan.
There he is.
Yep,
That's a
and we
cool
got
cover right there.
UK artist Laura Helsby with colors by Jason Millay. Always trying to get people who don't identify as male involved in comics. I think it's important to work with different people, different backgrounds. Not just my US based male friends. So Laura was somebody I wanted to work with for a while, and she was able to fit it. Actually, I've been sitting on this cover because the schedule got a little bit slower. So I think she's been waiting for this to come out for quite a while. So I'm glad to finally debut it. And you see Lana there with the magic drumsticks on her way to the magical Silver Mountain.
Dun, dun, dun.
Another one of my friends, Andy Vanderbilt, did the variant cover with he's a big kaiju artist, does like the Godzilla shows and stuff. And I said, well, I have this hybrid creature named Argyle. Would you like to draw it? And he's like, hell yeah.
Explain Argyle to the viewers.
So like the video said, this world is very influenced by heavy metal. Alchemy is popular, witchcraft, all those things your aunts and uncles told you would happen if you listen to heavy metal. Well, guess what? They were right. It happened. It's not as intense as like a metalocalypse or something like that, but there's a lot of strange things that happen when Black Sabbath opens a portal to hell. So
Oops.
some of it is people started experimenting with hybrid creatures, and this is one of our rescues. This one was illegally created and mistreated and was rescued by one of our characters in the book, and he hangs out with the band. He's their little sidekick protector, and his name is Argyle the Arachnigator, of course, his full name being a cross with the spider. He was co-created by my then 9-year-old daughter at the time. I was trying to think of something, like a buddy, a sidekick for them to have in this world. What would it look like? And I said, hey, Kylie, what would a spider cross with an alligator look like? And she drew me up a picture. I showed it to Dan, and he's like, all right, we're adding it to the book. And off we went. And it's been a whole thing. It's like a phenomenon. It's been really fun. Created the stuffed animals with her and Dan. And
Show it.
Oh, now we can show it.
Yeah. Look.
Our first ever stuffed animal. And it was just funny because of all the things, Dan's an amazing creator, and he's done omnibuses and all kinds of cool merch. He said, I've never had a stuffy. This is like the coolest thing. He's like so excited. His kids are excited. Mine are. Everybody who sees him is just like, oh my God, he's so cool. So yeah, it felt like something that we wanted to expand on in the book, because people, as soon as he appeared in issue 3, everybody was all about Argyle. So we're also doing the 3D printed D&D figures. So
yeah, I wanted to see those too, the 3D printed ones. Are you 3D printing these?
I am not. I actually found somebody on Etsy who did these for us.
Yeah.
He did an awesome design. It's white right now. You can paint it if you want. But you can't see his 4 eyes really, but they're there.
Yeah.
And then 8, of course, is wonderful. 8 legs.
Cool.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you need a slinky one.
Oh, that's a good call. I wonder how I could have that made.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Corissa.
You could 3D print like a front and a back and have them,
and then attach the spring.
Slinky.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I feel like that would be funny. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm so full of ideas right now. They're not all good.
That's all right. That's sometimes how you get to the good ideas, right?
Right. But I just throw them out there, and it's like free idea. You do what you want with it. If it sucks, I'm sorry.
And of course, we have all previous issues, like any good campaign
Yeah.
should do, give you a chance to catch up. We've had a lot of people. A part of what I've tried to do, like we were talking about, getting people excited early on and getting them to sign up. I've been trying to announce that we do like bundle deals at the beginning. Like we do
Mhm.
limited items. Like the 3D one is only limited to 15, and
Yeah.
we did some other like get catch up on everything for like a great price. So I've been trying to do that just to kind of get the excitement going early. That seems to be working. Including we're doing a catch up tier. But get all the digital issues for a decent price, yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome to see people jumping into that. People still buy the trade paperback that we put out last year, so it's really cool at this point to see people finding it new and just wanting to jump right into getting all or most of the stuff right away.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of people when they find, like, a series like, you're well into the series, and when they find you now, it's like, "I wish you were with us in the beginning, but man, I'm so jealous that you get to sit down and just binge read, all of these issues at once."
Right.
Because it's like in the beginning, it's like you gotta wait between every issue. It's still great, and it's like, of course, we need everybody to just come along for the ride, but it's like, the jealousy of binge reading to where you're at is always that's fun too. So it's just a different, way to think of it, but, um, ooh, 4 the first 4 real metal covers? Is that an
Yeah,
option where you can do, like, a catch-up tier in metal?
we did, and that did go. You can't get them all anyway, but we did do like a
Oh.
a, a huge bundle deal discount. There's actually this will be the 6th now, so those are the first 4 from the first
Yeah.
4 issues. There's only a very few left of those at this point, but we got plenty of issue Band of the Silver Mountain 1 and 2. So that's 6 total awesome metal covers.
That's cool.
Original
Sorry,
art
I was
pages
I
as
was
add-ons.
looking at
I've never
I
done a
was
cover. I've never let a cover go to the public that I don't own from Drumsticks of Doom. I had
yeah.
to let it go. We're getting finances keep going up and up, and so I finally decided to part with one of my babies here. So this is a big
I
deal,
feel
people. The
you.
ones that aren't created in digital, I own them all. So it was very
Yeah.
sad to see it go.
Did someone get it?
Not yet. It's still out there.
It's still out there, gotcha. So if you're looking for some original art, especially look, it's Argyle, that's amazing. This is a
Yeah,
great
and
cover.
um
Yeah.
we've done original pages before, but I thought we would start to kind of feature some of the choice pages. I think that might help people.
Yeah.
But let me know if there's a page that you're interested in the past. You could always send us a message. We'll let you know if it's still available. But it's always difficult because at this point we have hundreds of pages of the book.
Mhm.
Um, so at first I was kind of saying page 1 and 2 are gone, but now at this point it's like there's some from every book are gone.
Yeah.
So we may have to end up doing like an Etsy site or something with all the pages at this point because now we've got so many. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that my co-creator is willing to let those go to the to funding the campaign.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got a couple choice pages in there. Argyle's first appearance. You got to get those.
This one where he's
Yeah.
I love the pages with Argyle. This one, this 3rd page where he's, like, coming
Yeah, it's such a
at
good
the
page.
raider, it's like, "Ah!" That's amazing. I love him. Of course, I love giant undead bears, so I love me
Yeah,
a
we love
good
our
freaky
creatures.
animal. Oh, look how cute he is. They made him so cute.
I actually drew that. I don't dust off
You?
the pens too often, but I drew my little Simpsonized Argyle there, and then
He's
the polo shirt logo riff of
yeah.
Argyle there.
Okay, I was like, "This is reminding me of something," and I can't think of what it is. It's the
I
polo
did
shirt.
not draw. Angela Odling did the sweet werewolf bass player who does play into the story. We do have a werewolf bass player. So
The
uh,
werewolf?
yes, in our story they're called day wolves because they can transition during the day.
Ah,
Hopefully we'll get to the part where we explain why that does take place. But yeah, so that's our little wolf bass player there.
those are cute. I like them. Man, I think we need to come out with a indie, sticker book.
Yeah,
You know
like
what
a
I mean?
creature
Like,
pack.
because we all do stickers and they're all so cool. It's like we need a centralized place to do like a sticker book where I can be like, these are, Drumsticks
Yeah.
of Doom, and these are Worthy Chaos, Path of the Pill Rider, Slaughterville.
Oh,
Like everybody
maybe in
does
our
stickers.
Facebook chat group we should do it in exchange where we can put together little packs or something.
A little pack of indie creator sticker pack. I love stickers. I'm having fun with them. Favorite items. Ooh, standard cover catch-up tier available or add-on. Oh, so you can add on individual too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. always want to give people a chance to catch up. At this point, the issues have been out for a couple of years, so got to give you a decent price to catch up. But we do have a very limited amount of the variants left. Some of those are getting close to no stock, so this might be one of the last campaigns where you can catch up on those. But we always want to keep the regular covers in print and make sure, some people don't like the trades, they want to catch up on the book. So in the flappies.
Yep. I think I get maybe 75%. Like when I'm at like a con, 75% will get the trade plus the newer issues. And then, but there's still that 25% that wants all the individual issues, and they want to pick out if I have variant covers, they want to customize the cover selection and stuff like that. So it's always a good option. How many pages? Yeah. How many pages are in this issue?
So the first trade was 124 pages. So the first 4 issues with extra stuff.
Yeah.
About 124. And then the last 2 issues have been 20 pages. So we're about 100, 160-ish pages in. So
this issue is, sorry, Glenn, you came in. So this one is, okay. So 20 interior pages. Yep.
So we did do a short backup story. Laura, the awesome cover artist, did also do a short backup story in here, but it's 2-page backup and 18 of the main story.
Gotcha. But look at that. That's beautiful black and white. It's not just, sometimes you see black and white and it's just like, black lines on a very blank page, but those are not. That's toned. It's beautiful. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad we made that choice. I think it really fits with the heavy metal theme.
Yeah.
And financially, I'm also glad, because we definitely didn't make the choice financially. We thought it would fit the style of the book and, being a heavy metal book and all that. But yes, it's definitely saved us as prices have gone up.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? I think I was talking about that, where it's like from the time I closed the Kickstarter for issue 5 and when we fulfilled, printing had gone up twice and shipping had gone up 3 times.
Yeesh.
And that was just from I think we closed at the end of July, and then I think we printed the end of October 3 times and 2 times. So it's hard. Hey, look who it is. It's Al Mega. Wepa. Good morning. Salute to the chat. Good morning. So these are some of the variants you have left over. Look at these guys. Holy crap.
Yep. We've got that's the first. We kind of bunched the first volume together, but all 6 issues have at least one variant cover. So we still have them all. The Kaylin Smith, especially on the first upper left there.
This one?
That one's getting low. So that's been a very popular one. People love their werewolves.
Yeah, people love Karen Needlemeyer loves those werewolves. Don't ask me why. We got some. These are cool keychains.
Yeah, Dan's awesome cover for issue 3. We made it into a keychain.
Acrylic.
One of our mutual friends has a cousin who does it, like yourself, out of their house, and
out of the kitchen.
I love those. They look so cool. It's like the whole cover.
Are they acrylic base and then it's on there? Or, okay.
Yeah, printed right on it. Yeah.
Going to take some notes.
Yeah, and she does a great price. So talk to mutual friend Edward Davis.
Edward Davis. Yes.
I apologize.
What the heck?
She has a little company name, but I forgot. We got our heavy. Those are actually drumstick holders. Sometimes people don't see that right away. It does hold a drumstick there through the middle.
That's
we do drumsticks for one campaign. We're thinking about bringing them back, but they are a pain in the ass to ship. So. But for now, if you've caught a drumstick, you saw, your favorite band live, you caught a drumstick, you can put it in there.
Isn't this a pain in the buttocks to ship as well? This thing?
Oh yeah. Now this again was printed by somebody. It's pretty sturdy, but I've had somebody knock one off my table and it broke. And but they're a little smaller. Like a drumstick is 16 inches, so it's super difficult to find a box that can safely ship something this big and a comic. And it was a whole thing, but I may bring it back again. People were very excited. I did not think they sold out instantly. I was so shocked how excited people were about silly little drumsticks, but we are
funny.
Drumsticks.
That's why it's sometimes you think of merch and it's it's hit, and other times you're like, nobody wants this. Why did
I did not think I bought these sticks. I spray painted our logo on there real cheesy, used a stencil and just kind of, it looked and people were like, "Oh my God, can I get more? Can I get 2? Can I get a whole set?" I'm like, "Holy Jesus!"
That was, I think, one of the first times I had you on the show is you had drumsticks because I was like, "Where are your drumsticks?"
Yeah.
And I told them like, "Okay, you have them." I was like, because that's a missed opportunity if you don't have
I
freaking
have,
drumsticks for
keep them for
Drumsticks
you.
of Doom. Well,
I did
that
keep
and
one for
guitar
myself.
picks, amazing.
I
You
mean,
know,
yeah. So it fits. This is a 5B stick, so it fits. One of the larger
you're like,
drumsticks,
wait,
like
wait,
I like to use. So
uh,
yeah, probably next campaign we'll see. Probably once a mini series. So this is the
nice,
second arc. I got to see. Here's the damaged one that I repaired. See,
yeah.
yeah, these came out really cool. That was really cool. And like,
Look,
I loved, as a young man going to shows, catching drumsticks. I have like a box full of them, and then I was like, man, you need some way to display this, and I was like, oh, let's make up this thing. So
see, have a problem, create a solution. Love it.
because
So what's
they
the
just sit in a
difference?
box right now.
What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what we don't want. Look, I have all these beautiful things in a box where no one can see them, collecting dust. What's the difference between these two right here?
So we did do a variant of our trade. I know
Oh,
people don't always do that, but part of Make 100, we were part of last year.
yeah.
We decided to do 100 copies of the awesome Maria Wolf cover there.
Okay.
So there's only probably about 40 left. So those are hugely popular, but the main cover we wanted, Dan's cover on there, but yeah, I thought it was like a cool thing. People get to choose their cover just like with single issues.
Mm-hmm.
So get it for just a couple dollars more. You get the
So get it.
limited.
This is so cute. I would totally do this. I love the beanie. Who's what's the name of this child here?
This is Kylie. This is my daughter.
She's so cute.
She was very happy to model for that.
Yeah. I like the fingers too. She's like, "What's up?" Did you make her do that? You're like, "Okay, now put your fingers."
No, she knows. We do that all the
She
time.
does? Okay,
We
great.
talk about metal and stuff, and she knows the sign.
Cool. I need hats. I need hats. This is
Yeah,
smart
and that's
though.
actually a hat with a I got a great price on iron-on patches.
Yes.
So I just iron them myself.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. Couple of, get a decently priced beanies and put them on there, make them up yourself. I'm
Mhm.
always honored when somebody orders them. It feels like I'm making it for them, put it in the
Right.
bag.
That's me and my shirts. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm so excited for you." Yeah, like, "Rock on, Lou." Yeah, I love the iron-on look to it too, because it's so clear and crisp and makes it
Yeah.
easy to read.
And that's like when I'm not the biggest merch guy, even though it doesn't look like it's right because I have all this crap.
Yeah.
I don't like variant covers myself. I'm a dirty trade waiter guy.
What?
I don't buy variant covers and all this, but we're, being around people like yourself and Corissa and all these wonderful people over the years, I had to get over some of my old manisms and be like, it's not about you. Give people what they want. If they're excited about it. And like, we have people who love like the metal covers, like somebody had them graded and they got 9.8 and they were like so excited and they sent me
Wow.
pictures and like, same thing. Like, but the heavy metal community itself does have certain things, right? People have their pins on their jackets. They have their patches on their battle vest. So patches are huge. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's something that makes sense for my book, right? Because that is something that's is huge in our community. So
Yeah.
I try to do stuff that makes sense or is fun, and not just spew out just randomness. But
Yeah, there's thought behind it. Because again, it's like, how many bookmarks do you need?
right,
We all do the
yeah,
bookmarks.
I
We all
love
do
the
the
bookmarks too,
stickers.
and the metal bookmarks are
We
super
love
cool.
them.
Yeah,
But
you can
again, if there's no thought behind it, it's like, it's just another bookmark. We want kick-ass metal bookmarks that represent the brand, right? That's what we want.
yeah,
One that
we'll
you
get
could
to
play
those
your
eventually.
guitar with. Yes, that's what we want.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be marketing it as that when we get to the metal bookmark.
Play your guitar with this metal bookmark. All right. So we had already talked in the beginning of the show that Jon does a plethora of books. That's a word that we should use more, by the way, plethora. So look, I love how you did your 2025 timeline. So if you guys, and I love that you do this hold my shipping. This is something that I've only seen Jon do. Does anybody else do this? I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So Jon, since he has all these different books and you can see when they're coming out, you can choose to quote unquote hold your shipping And then when they're all completed, he can fulfill them all in one box, and you just pay shipping once instead of
Yeah, we
multiple
started
times.
this last year. Like we've done I've tried to do like this subscription plan where I do one or more, 2 or more books at the same time and just kind of let people, because we do have a lot of the same names that come back. So I'm always trying to
Right.
think about how can I save them money? How can I save myself stress with shipping? How can we have a win-win for both of us? So this is what I came up with last year. People weren't uh, the multiple books at once had diminishing returns, and so I said I'm not going to do that again, but maybe I can do this. So those people who really don't mind waiting till the next book or the third book or the fourth or all of them, they can choose, right? So you choose this as an add-on, then I refund your shipping minus the $1 for the extra postage that will be on the next one. And then you just hold it until you want your books. You can email me at any time, or you can just go to the next one. And if you go to the next one and you don't choose hold my shipping, then I know this is your time. You want the books. So it's as easy as that. It's the first add-on in the add-on section. So last year didn't have a ton of people. I actually ended up reaching out to people individually and saying, hey, I'm about to ship this book. You also had this book. Do you want to wait a couple weeks? Yes, I do. Thanks, John. And I think it kind of, this time we already have 6 or 7 in there. So I think people now are getting used to it. They know that we're going to deliver in 15 years. I've never not delivered on a book. So hopefully people are trusting that now and saying, okay, I can wait 6 months or I can wait the whole year and just get a huge package at the end of the year, which we did have a few people do last year, which, again, that's always fun. They're like, here's your whole year's worth of stuff. So it's cool. And again, 6 or 7 people already taken advantage. And I hope more people do, because again, it saves me a little stress. Logistically, it's like, okay, I can just check the last Kickstarter, bring up who used hold my shipping and check if they did this one. So it's not really that much extra work for me behind the scenes. And especially for our international backers,
Yes.
I will reach out to them individually and be like, hey, can I bundle these together? Cause that's going to save you. I'll refund you the $20, you've paid. Cause if they back, and we get people back all the books throughout the year, and that's like $100 and something. Let's not do that. Let's work together.
Oh my
If you do want your books, every couple months, like we are going to release these throughout the year, I'm excited about that too, but please reach out. I'm all about saving you the money if you're willing to plunk down that much for one of our books,
Do like for this $15, let's say the variant, does this come with the book and the PDF, or are we just getting physical copy here?
We just do the physical. We don't do
Yeah.
the PDF with it as well. I know a lot of people do, but we haven't. But you can add the PDFs on. If you emailed me, I'd probably send it to you anyway, but we haven't done the PDF with the book.
I was just curious. Because like for me, that's how I usually read is I'll read the PDF first
Mhm.
when that drops. So I know because everybody leaves you on a cliffhanger, dang it.
Mhm.
And so it's like, I need to know what happens next. I need to find out what happens after that person, fell off a cliff or is hanging by 2 fingers. And so I'll binge read the PDF. And then when I get the physical, it's like, okay, now it's time for the deep dive. I look for the Easter eggs. I smell the book. I do all that stuff. So
And
I
that's
was just
nice. I hadn't
curious.
really thought of it that way. I'm someone who, when I get the PDF, I just kind of ignore it and then I
Yeah.
wait for the book. But I'd be interested to hear people's feedback. If people really, they feel like we're leaving something out, we try to keep the cost super low. So that's, maybe that's part of it. But if that's, that's definitely what people want. If they expect the PDF with it, we can definitely get with the times.
Well, it just depends on what your audience is looking for. Variant covers, unless there was a point to it. Yeah. And I mean, it depends. It depends. I can see the benefit of variant covers when an artist is also promoting it. So, like, I'll use myself as an example. I get covers from William Russell. I write his series Psycho Sal in exchange for variant covers from William Russell. And he's promoting and he's telling his audience when I'm live. And so his cover always sells well. So that's an example of when you would want a variant cover. You tap into that audience. But if you're getting a variant cover and there's no draw for it, then why spend the money? I don't know. What do you think?
Again, for me, I didn't do them on most of our books for the
Yeah.
first 10 years I was a publisher, and I had to, again, get over it and get with the times, offer people. But again, I wanted it to make sense. So I didn't want to go into 7, 8 different variants.
Yes.
maybe I'd do more in the future if it was like a special cover, or I got this artist who was just, lights out and just really wanted to work on the project or something like that. But I try to keep it, there's a standard cover, there's a variant, sometimes there's a sketch cover or something like that. Try to keep it reasonable. But again, it's up to the audience, right? If I put out 7 covers and 50 people buy each of them, then they're telling me we like the variety.
You're right.
If I put out 3 and, the third one only sells 1 copy, then, you've kind of told me. So sometimes I do, again, I'm kind of in the past a little bit with some of these things, and I need to update how I approach these things. So that's what I've tried to do, once I relaunched as Part-Time Comics, to say, okay, offer it up. And if it doesn't work out, then, you back off with the next one. But if people keep buying them and they're excited, and like you said, people come up to the table and they want to pick, they're like, oh, what's this cover? And I could mix them together, and I want this one. And that's fun too. People enjoy that. So why not give them what they enjoy? But I do think it sometimes goes a little bit too far. Like, I remember I got the
7 covers is a lot. Whoever did 7, I'm not sure. Woo!
Oh, I've seen people do 17.
Oh God.
Boom Studios relaunched Darkwing Duck this year, and there was 98 covers or something crazy. Like, that's just taking advantage of your community that are completists.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to go that far. We do silly things. Maybe some people think the metal covers are silly at the price they cost, but I'm not going to go that far. Again, that just seems disingenuous at a certain point. Yeah.
My next campaign, I cut back one. I usually do, I think, 4 variants. And I did a sketch cover. I think I count that as 1, but really I only did 2. There's a William Russell, and then there's a DJ Hall one, and that's it. Like, it's just, unfortunately, there's just I don't have the funds to pay for another cover at this point. Too. So yeah, last year was rough, everybody, for creators.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. But you don't know. You invest, several $100s more, and then
stop it
again.
Tom, we want to see you do 99.
He'll do it. There'll be pictures
like
of him.
Challenge accepted.
His cat headphones.
Yeah. That would be great. You should put cat headphones, sneak it into all your 99 covers. Okay, somewhere in there. That would be like.
And again, if people do it, it's a huge part of our industry. It's basically what keeps it afloat at this point. And again, just for my personal choice. I'm not, but ask me in a year, I might sell out and do something different. We're all sellouts in the end. So
it's just, well, and I mean, like, as soon as you think you figure it out, the method changes. And so I feel like we have to constantly be looking at new methods and think outside the box in order to stay ahead of the game and to be relevant. Because you can't just keep doing the same thing. I mean, look at the comic book industry. Nothing has been the same. 2024 was rough. I mean, the whole thing with Diamond, it's constantly changing. So if you're not constantly changing with the industry, then you're going to get left behind. So gotta do. Anyway, we are dark and disturbed today. We are doom and gloom. Welcome to the show. So let's talk about your schedule for the year. So Drumsticks of Doom, Silver Mountain issue 2 is out now. And so it looks like LCS is next.
It is, and then I got confusing and just decided I wanted the art in a certain order. So next is LCS right there. Next to Drumsticks of Doom. That is our post-apocalyptic comic about comic collecting.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun, you guys. I got to read the first issue.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that one's fun. I definitely recommend it.
Checking it out. It's it's my nature is always to be a little bit more lighthearted, but it is a series of global catastrophes has left life on Earth decimated and made comic collecting a huge disaster. A few group of survivors run the last comic shop on Earth. That's the basic premise. Amazing co-creator and artist Winston Gambro is back to work with us on that. We're kind of just doing this as the starting point. There's a billion stories we could tell in this universe about somebody running a comic and collecting shop after the end of the world. Laurie knows there's a certain twist to why the people survived in this world. So I hope people like that part of it too. So there's definitely some intrigue and more beyond just kind of a funny comic shop, dystopian comic shop that we're setting up. But we're going to kind of keep it at this first, see how people respond. And then he and I will decide kind of where the series is going to go from here. I would love to tell a huge long form story with this one. I think the story is there, but we're keeping it at 2 issues to start and see what the interest is.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, people, when I read the first issue, I was in it and I was like, oh, this is girl. It's apocalypse. It's funny. And then I got to the last page and I was like, motherfucker.
And
So I
Chris
was like,
Daly from
immediately,
the
dear
Geek Network,
John.
Chris
So
told me that too. Chris Daly, and I thought that twist would just be obvious to people.
it
I thought
wasn't.
the twist of who the survivors are, and then he said the same thing. He's like, "Oh man, you hooked me in with that." I was like, "Well, I'm glad that we did that because I definitely wanted that to be the hook of the first issue."
It's funny though, because sometimes I think I'm being obvious too. And then, the readers are like, we didn't see this coming. I'm like, how could you not? But it happens all the time. Like your
Right.
story, I was at the end, I was like, I should have seen this coming, damn it. But I didn't,
Yeah, right.
so that's
We
some
think they're
good
going to see it
storytelling.
because we've got it running through our head and we've seen it 100
You
times. Like this
but you
story,
still got me. So
I've
I was
had
like,
for so long, and I was so glad that Winston was able to fit it in last year. And
yeah, the
again, so
colors
for
on that
now, it's
one. Whew,
oh, I know that was such a great choice, and I gave no direction on that. I have to keep
yeah.
putting that out there. That was 100% Winston. He said, I thought that looked like this palette looked like a post-apocalyptic world. I said, you nailed it. It's a huge part of the story now. It's just so cool. He's doing it. We got our Gone with the Wind homage cover there. So
Yeah.
so that'll be in March. Then we're back to CPS, Child Possession Services, the finale.
Oh yeah.
With my amazing now co-creator, our original artist and co-creator Bob Ornelas was not able to continue, and I'm just so glad Mata is super into this story, and Connie and how she really sucks at her job as a social worker and all the shit that she's caused has now come to a head in the final issue. This was honestly a story that I felt like had a bigger story to it, and for now we're going to put a pin in it, wrap it up for now, and again see where the audience is as we continue to do conventions and hopefully get it out in trade next year.
Yeah. Okay.
But for now, it's going to be the finale on CPS. So LCS is wrapping up for now. CPS wrapping up. Then we're back to Drumsticks of Doom, which will be the final part of this arc, which will go into the last arc next year. And then we've got a one-shot crime horror comic called Final Heist coming out in September. So yeah, we're in a busy year.
Is that one new? Final Heist?
It was actually supposed to come out last year, but our artist, Deborah Lancinisi, her schedule was pretty busy. I decided to do Indie Comics Expo, and I said, you know what? Rather than both of us stress to try and cram this in, let's just do it on our own timetable. We've already done an additional campaign this year with Indie Comics Expo, and she was more than happy to say, yeah, let's get to it in 2025.
Okay, so you're wrapping LCS. You're potentially wrapping CPS, and you're wrapping Drumsticks of Doom.
Well, Drumsticks of Doom, this is that case
arc.
That's just the arc. There's one more arc left.
Okay.
Which will be about 3 issues. So
I was about to worry
I'm hoping
about
to do all those in 2026. So that's part of why we're putting a pause on some other ones and finishing them for now. So I really do want to see Drumsticks of Doom get all the way through. So I can release Dan from his burden.
Gotcha. Because I was like, what are you going to do with yourself that you're, closing down 3 of these? I was like, John's going to have too much time. There must be something else coming.
I know, right? I can
There's
retire,
coming.
focus on real life issues, become a farmer. Who knows?
Become a farmer. Ooh. You can join me in the bread cult. It's a thing.
Oh, I would love to. I definitely, the pandemic definitely got me dabbling into gardening and stuff, something I thought I'd never be into, but you make life in children and that's amazing. But then when you grow this little tomato, you're just like, it's like a different feeling. Like, I created this thing. I am God. It took me 3 months to make this one tomato, but I did it. I saved 79 cents.
Oh my God, John. Because I like to grow tomatoes on my back porch too. And we have bunnies. We have a bunny problem here. And those bastards don't like tomatoes, but they think they do.
So they eat them enough to kill them.
What?
They eat it enough to kill it or destroy
the
root.
One bite.
They
take one effing bite of the tomato and they're like, I don't like it. But they do it to all the tomatoes.
We have a problem with birds. They'll pull the root out of the ground and be like, do I like this? Nope. And then move on. Well, now it's dead. That happened with pumpkins. That happened with cucumbers. We've got a huge problem over here too, but it's still it's a fun thing to do in your old age. Get out there in the dirt.
In Michigan, we had this bunny that was like as big as it was a giant bunny. It was like a cat. It was giant. And we had more land. So like my planters were far back on the property and he would just like stretch out and lay in the planter, and I would like send my dog out to go scare him, like, go get that MFer. And he would eat everything. I had like beets and sweet potatoes and lettuce
Oh,
and
geez.
whatever was out there that MFer ate. I was like, you
Yeah.
just fat bunny. I was like, we could eat you if we ever caught you. Dan Price, what's up,
Hey,
man?
man, what's
How
up?
are ya?
We've been trying
Cool.
to do like give them something to eat away from it, so maybe they won't come
Yeah.
over. We've done the scarecrows. We've done the
Cucumbers.
it's been a battle. Yeah, it's cucumbers for us too. My daughter loves cucumbers. I do too, and she loves them fresh. So that's where we started, and now we're branching out into
Yeah.
potatoes and other stuff to mix results.
Gosh, I kill everything here in Texas. I'm so used to Michigan planting,
Oh,
where
I
it's
bet.
like you wait until May and then you plant, right? And then you harvest in like August.
Yep.
But here in Texas, it's like you plant in May, everything's dead in a month.
Dead, yeah, it'll be scorched. Even
You
here
gotta
though,
plant
like
in like
I didn't have
February.
proper shading for the cucumbers. They all got roasted, like Brussels
Yeah.
sprouts, same things. Like it really is like a whole skill that you have to learn. You can't just put it in the groundwater, and like in certain soil, like pumpkins grow great, but other things don't grow at all. So it's like you're kind of learning. You know, they sell all the seeds and stuff at the store, but not most of it won't grow in the Midwest. You know,
Right. It's like you have to do freaking research. Like which ones will grow, what's your
yep.
temperature
What's
range.
my pH soil? What's my
Right.
Jesus? This is the whole thing.
Ah. By the way, Katie, I got your book. I need to take a picture with it. I have it downstairs because I was planning on sitting down to read it, but my kids were like trying to touch it, and I was like, hands off.
Man, go to your room.
So, my one daughter is very excited and wants to read it. I told her I get to read it first. So I got a purple and gold cover, hand bound by Katie Shaw of The Dragon Child. So we will be showing that off. And of course, you're going to be, John, you're going to be printing with Comics Wellspring. Hello. So here
I
in
am.
the
We've
US.
used them quite often, almost exclusively in the last
Mhm.
few years. So yeah, we're going to be back printing with them. They always get it to us quick. So
Nice. Is there, no, we didn't even go shopping, people. All right. So we got digital is $4. So that's lower than most. Mine are $5. And then
that's
in
okay.
print, $7. Holy crap, man.
Trying to keep it affordable. I have gone up a little bit. Again, I've budged a little bit, but
I mean, it's kind of hard not to when paper is expensive, printing is expensive, shipping expenses, they have all gone up considerably in the last couple years since I got started. So it's like, man, you can't.
every year it's like gone up, up.
It's
Trying to still keep it
difficult.
reasonable because I do appreciate everybody works hard for their money, but
Yeah.
you can't just get Argyle by himself if you're just a plushie fanatic. Please.
Hey,
We got to offer him a loan, but
I've
again,
never
you can
done
get,
that. I've thought about that, but that's something to consider because you can just get Argyle for $25. That's a great price too. Those guys
Yeah.
are not cheap to make, you guys. So that's a good price for that plushie. Look at all his legs. That's complicated.
so many legs. It's like
So
$3
many
a leg.
legs.
And then of course we have the trade. If somebody just wants to catch up and get the trade, if they're like me,
Yeah.
we're still offering that each campaign. And we've got the new stuff we kind of bundled together. Do you want the new issue and the 3D figure? It's cool to see a bunch of people jump in on that.
Yeah.
I hope people will paint them. I'd love to see people, if they decide to sculpt them or paint them for their campaigns and stuff like that.
That would be fun. I liked painting those. I made Big James ones and I painted. I don't know where he is, but yeah,
nice.
Those are always fun to paint. I made one purple and sent it to one of my purple Big James. So 2 trades. Yep, we got a $25 one and a $30 one. Remember, the $30 is the shorter run, the one out of 100.
Yep.
Let me go back up there so you guys can see it. This bad boy. Yeah.
From issue 1, that cover got such a great reception. It's such an awesome piece by Maria and Mike Spicer did the colors. I should always mention his name because man, he's a huge part of why that piece just speaks for itself. But yeah, we're still offering that trade here, even though it was just part of the Make 100 last year. We got a couple left, so jump on that.
Yeah, hop on that, man.
I'm always excited about these tiers. Again, I've been making comics for 15 years.
Give me
Bulletproof part-time comics for 5 years now. We have so many books. It's such a great feeling when someone says, "Give me everything. I don't know you. I've never backed you before. I want it all." And so we do it in digital and print. And again, we try to give you a huge discount for that. Like, if you're willing to invest in all our books and clear up some closet space for me, you get a bunch of stuff.
All band on the SM cover. What's SM?
Band on the Silver Mountain is
Band on
the
the Silver
subtitle
Mountain.
for this one. So you can get
Ooh.
all the covers of both issues so far, which includes
Ooh.
the all black sketch cover from issue 1. We do that. Issue 1 of each miniseries will have the all black sketch cover.
Oh, that's I'm taking notes. All black sketch cover.
I kind of did that on an accident with the first series.
Yeah.
And people were like, you can't, it's not going to come out. And I was like, we're just going to try it. Black is a thing. And in metal, it was an homage to the Black Album by Metallica.
Yeah.
This one is an homage to Back in Black by AC/DC. The next one will be
Nice.
another homage. So again, I thought it was fun, a fun way to do it. I'm yet to see someone actually sketch on it. People seem to like them just as an all black cover. People buy them, but get somebody to draw a cool werewolf or something on there and send me the picture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have Dan start doing them and then selling them like that, because everybody wants to keep them just like mint. They don't want to draw on them.
Draw on the sketch covers. That's what they're for, man.
Yeah.
Gilbert's doing a bunch of sketch covers right now too, and I'm just like, I need more of these. I was like, I need to win the lotto so I can just buy all the original art things. I really do.
Yes. Oh, that I would love to like.
I know because you're like, I own all these original covers. They're not cheap, guys.
I wish I could more.
Yeah, I want them all. When it's your world, it's like, give me all the things. DFD bought some 2 metal cover.
Bought some. Here we go. Bought some. That's what we'll call it now. The DFD bought some metal cover, and for anybody who doesn't know, if you're behind the times, that's real thick ass metal. You could stab someone with these things. They're so cool.
Yes.
Fairy Photography does such an amazing job. They are so awesome. Like I said, we had somebody who asked me to really look at theirs because they wanted to get them graded. Got a 9.8 from CGC. They were so excited. They are crisp. They are amazing. They come out so cool. We don't put the logos on them, so you can just see all the art in all its glory. Yes, those always do. Naked? Those always do well for us. And we limit those. The first issue was 25. Everyone since then has been 20.
What?
So we don't print too many.
He's one of
those.
They're
expensive as hell.
I can't bring myself to sketch on the sketch covers.
I know. I have a buddy like that. He's like, I'm gonna mess up, and then I'm gonna have to like white out the whole cover. It's like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Can you imagine? It's
Take
just
the
a white out cover. Be like, it was black.
Cover.
Now it is white. But then you can like scratch through it with like a coin or something and make it like a scratch. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was a bad idea. Hi, Whitefire, by the way. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Early bird. Is this still going on or is this done? It's available.
It's available. There's only one left. So this one's kind of more of an early bird as far as the amount. And one person got it already, so only one left. All our books for $99. It's like 17 books.
That's a lot of books, man.
Minus the trade. You can't add the trade as an add-on, but all our single
trades are pricey.
Only one of our books is actually sold out. One of our early we did a tribute to Magic the Gathering, a zine. And I haven't got that one back into print yet, so I probably should, because now I feel like people are missing out on one book, but we'll see. But all of our other books, we've kept everything else in rotation.
Well, and I mean, sometimes there's something to be said about being exclusive, because like my Funko Pops, I'm like, we're only doing 5, and if you don't get it when we do this run, we're probably not coming back to it. And so we did. I think Big James was our second one. And now we, of course we grow, and now everybody wants a Big James Funko Pop, and I'm just like, we're not doing that. So we might go back later and do a different design, so that one stays exclusive. Because it's like,
that's a good idea,
right? When someone gets the exclusive one, and you're like, I'm only making 5, and then you make like 400.
Oh yeah, that burns you. You feel burned,
right?
I thought I had one of only 5.
Right, exactly. Everything minus the metal. So. Question: if you threw one of the metal comics like a frisbee, could you behead zombies? Is that
I think so.
Tool in the apocalypse?
Somebody with softened flesh, yeah, you probably could.
See, I'm sold. See, you can use it as a weapon, guys. Protect yourself in the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's every cover we have left. All
with
current pins, beanie hat, with the trade, all the stickers, the current guitar pick that we have. Keychain, Argyle plush, the 3D figure, get everything. Just all you have to do is
for 145.
Yeah, it's mega.
It should be like $500.
It's mega discounted. You get like 25% off.
Mega
Because there's nothing more satisfying again than packing a huge box and saying, "Here's all my stuff."
Yeah. I could just see John like lugging it to the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to ship this. And like, sir, we don't do that. Put your box back in your closet of things. What's the heaviest box you had to send to somebody?
6 pounds, I think.
6 pounds. I sent a box to Gilbert for 18 pounds. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, for co-contributors, I've definitely sent, a 15.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hope you're okay with this. It's all in one box. All right, everybody, I want to go back. All right. Refresh. So again, if you haven't backed this yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Right.
Put that link
Right.
back
And we
up
certainly
below.
understand, as we say all the time, it's difficult times around the world. We know not everybody can back. Giving those shares on your favorite social media, telling
Yes.
someone you know, all those things really, 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 really help these small business
100%.
owners that we are. So please, if you can quickly send out a share. You can still follow it now, and it will remind you at the end. So if you're not ready to commit right now, do that as well. But any way that you share the campaign out, it goes so far, so much further than people know.
If you want to read it, issues 1 and 2 of this one specifically with the my brain, Silver Mountain. Yes.
Mhm.
I didn't want to call it the wrong thing. It's $4 for
Bought
2
some.
PDFs. That's a great buy-in price.
Yeah.
And every little bit helps. So your $4 will make a difference, guys.
And if you're still not sold, right there under the first cover for the issues, there is a 10-page preview of the first series. So if you do need to kind of dabble your toes, we're also just last Friday, the first issue is free on Global Comics. So if you're a Global Comics reader, you can get the first issue there. That's it right there. So yeah, if you're still not sold,
go check it out for free.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Again, I'm not confident in a ton of things, but I am confident in my ability to choose the right artist for the gig. So if this doesn't sell you on it, I don't have anything else for you. So if you look at Dan's art and you're like, that's not for me, then that's fine. What more can I tell you?
Right. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous book, guys. Anyway, the link is there. You could go find it on the Drumsticks of Doom, right on the Kickstarter, right here in green. You could go check it out for free. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Go back this project for sure. Hey, good morning, Bloodline Josh Perry. Hi there. So, John, what else you want to talk about?
Well, we've talked about so much. I appreciate you giving me the time. I know you're a busy woman, so I appreciate you finding some time to talk to me again. We'll bother you again in 3 months. We're on the next book or so.
Well, and that's part of the fun of, being in the community and having a podcast is that I get 2 hours to hang out with just John and see how he's doing and hear about his projects. And, we get to catch up, which is one of the best things about it, in my opinion, because I'm invested in your journey. I want to see you succeed. And it's like, I love the indie comic community for that reason. It's like, it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey, right? And
Absolutely.
I mean,
and I definitely think that we all have our financial goals, and they are important. We can't create the books without the finances coming in.
right.
Most of us do it as a passion project, but we've got co-creators to pay and everything. But I do think that not enough people slow down to enjoy the process of it. So, some of the journey is, meeting people like you and having our chat group and laughing with each other and crying with each other and all that stuff that goes into the process. If we're only focused on, did my campaign make $20,000? Did I get 300 backers? You're going to miss a lot of the joys of creation. And again, I don't have any delusions of grandeur. I'll never win an Eisner. I'll probably never write, for the major publishers. So why wouldn't I want to enjoy the time I have, the relationship with the readers, fans coming up at shows, all that kind of stuff. You got to slow down and enjoy that, or you'll miss most of the fun of all this.
Right. I call it embracing the suck.
And the joy too, right?
Right. I mean,
if you're only focused on only these minimal goals, you miss all the success that you're having,
Right. And for me, I'm always talking about like, oh, issue 7, but it's like we have to enjoy the process of making issue 5, of making issue
Right.
6, and like letting people. Thank you, Lou.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yay. Ta-da! 103. Amazing. You get a blah from John himself. But that's, I mean, you have to enjoy the ride. You have to be in the process, enjoy what you're doing, and still look forward to what's on the horizon and what's coming. And so it is
Absolutely.
part of it.
Don't give up on your goals, sell yourself short, but don't always just focus on that thing down the road. There's all kinds of great things that happen each step of the way, you know?
I always feel bad when there's some newcomer who's like up and coming and they're like, I'm pitching to Image. I'm only
Yeah.
doing this Kickstarter in the meantime until I get picked up by Image. And I don't want to bust their bubble where I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, that might not ever happen. You know what I mean? But that's part of the reality. It's like you have to be in it because you want to do it, and that you'll do it until if and when someone picks you up. But you have to be okay with no one picking you up. Do it yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a social worker, as we've said many times now. I hear people have very unrealistic goals often.
Yeah.
My job is not to tell them not to have those goals and say, if your goal is to be president of the United States, for certain people, it might not happen, right? Whatever you are in life, or your involvement in politics, whatever. But let's break that down a little bit. Are you saying
Yeah.
you want to be involved in politics? Okay, great. Are you saying you want to be a politician to help your community? Oh, now that's different, right? Let's talk
Public
about what that
service,
looks like. And
right.
what are you doing instead of just focusing on my end goal, which is to write Amazing Spider-Man? Why would I want to skip past the 250 people who backed Drumsticks of Doom and say, you mean nothing to me. You're just a stepstone on my road to this goal. No, I want to enjoy that. I did it. I did this thing that so many people don't do or can't do or don't have the ability to. I get to do that. And that's something we should all enjoy, right? It's the barrier to entry in comics is so low. That's a great thing. And that's why there's so many great and awesome books and amazing stories out there. Yeah, I get to come on your show every 3 months and talk to you for a couple hours. If that's not enough for you, then maybe your goals are set too high.
Right. Everybody's goal should be to come on Laurie Calcaterra show every 3 months. I'm just kidding. And you know what's crazy though is we're booked out to, I want to say, I think mid-April. I think I have the first 2 weeks of April are gone. I think the whole month of May is gone except for one.
Wow.
So if you guys are wanting to come on the
I
Brew,
guess I better jump back in the queue.
yeah, it's like,
Or you know
we're
what? Maybe
gonna-
it's my time to step aside and let some other people, because now I've been on 20 times.
you're not I don't think you've beaten Corissa Grant. I think Tom Hutchinson is trying to beat Corissa Grant
yeah.
this year
That's
because he's coming
that's
on
his
next
goal.
week, and I think he booked I think April and May, or May and June.
Nice.
So there's
No
going to
one
be
will ever
some
beat Carissa. I
contention
know that for
for
sure, but
the Corissa Grant crown on the Brew, but
that's
yeah.
fine. She can have it. She's had a lot of success lately. She can have that title too.
Yeah. She is the queen of merch. We have to give
She
her
is.
that. But she has some great ideas, and like her and I'm a bad influence when it comes to merch too. And I feel bad for Carissa because she's just like, we're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I come up with her, she's like, what do you think about this? I'm like, this is great. What about this, and this? She's like, I'm going to do all of it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
2 months later, she's like, I did all the things. And you're like, oh, I gave up on that. Oh,
You're
that
like,
was a
I
silly
wasn't
idea.
saying to do it all now. It's like,
No.
maybe spread it. No. Okay. Well, she did all the things. Oh, Lou says the energy and positivity of your guests made me dig out my stories. Yes. And I'm writing and
Nice.
drawing. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Lou. I love it. I love it. You know what? Funny. I don't know what that means. What are you saying? What are you two talking about? Oh, we're just trying, the journey of indie
reminiscing
comics.
about the glory days.
Yeah, the journey of an indie comic creator and coming in with high hopes and realizing that it's no greener on that side of the fence. It really isn't.
Yeah, and
So,
again, like you said, not you don't want to discourage people, but there's very few people that reach that pinnacle of the mountain and, like you said, get picked up by all these publishers and have a long, writing career. I'm fortunate enough. I'm gainfully employed. I enjoy my employment. I'm not looking for an escape. So I take that as a privilege, right? I get to do this
yeah.
on my time, on my schedule, the way I want to do it, with my
Yes.
co-creators that I want to work with. So that's a cool place to be in too. I may not have 10,000 readers, but I have, several hundred pretty pretty rabid readers, and that's a cool feeling.
You know what? Josh, we're going to talk about another show. I promise you. This is just not the show. So make sure you tune in every
We talk
week.
about the horrors of reality.
Horror movies, yeah, horrors of reality. That's even scarier. But no, well, we will talk about that with depending on who the guest is. But today is not that show. But this is something that someone asked me recently, and I didn't know how to answer it, John. So maybe I'll ask you. When did you know that you had like fans that would follow? That you're building this like audience? When did you realize? And you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that
to be honest with you, it was definitely this second go around. I was with a previous company for about a decade. A friend of mine and I, self-published, and to me, I did have some, but it felt more like it was just friends in the community that were supporting you because you had a book out. Not to say we didn't have any, but
Yeah.
maybe I wasn't seeing it then. But now it's like really the third or fourth part-time comics Kickstarter when you started seeing the same names and they're people you don't know, or somebody who, has only backed, 2 or 3 Kickstarters and then they come back for the next one and you're their fourth or their fifth. So you start to see that it must be, something that you're putting out. It took a long time to really see. And then again, you have some people come up to you at shows and stuff and they've seen you at another one and they come back for the next book. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, that's a legitimate thing, right? They're not just like, they could have just walked past me and been like, he doesn't recognize who I am. But they made a point to come up and said, oh, I saw you at this show. I got this book. Do you have another one? Yeah, that was about the point where I realized, oh, okay. So, people like the things we're putting out.
Did it make you have warm and fuzzies?
A little bit of the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
It definitely motivates you to sit down and create again. You need that kind of pick me up every once in a while. Cause when you're selling online, you do see it. Like you see the numbers on Kickstarter and that stuff is fulfilling, but, actual interactions when people reach out to you, like I said, somebody was like, oh, please, will you look through the metal covers and find me the most pristine one? I just love them. I want to send them to CGC. I bought other ones before and now I want more. Or they again approach you at a show. Those individual moments are even on, like somebody said, oh, I missed this tier. You have the best merch, how can I get that? And I was like, oh, of course I'll make a tier for you, or just, change your tier or whatever to this. And, when they give you those individual messages, that always feels good.
Yeah, that gives you warm and fuzzies. And that's great that you do that. I love creators that listen, where it's like someone comes to you like, hey, I really like Argyle. Can you make a sticker like this? Or I like the art that you did, but I'm not seeing it, like your banner. I've had someone come to me and be like, your banner's really dope. Can I get like a print of that? I'm like, sure. Yeah. So you can put that on as an add-on or something. But it's like being able to listen to your audience, being approachable by your audience. That's another level, because there's a lot of people out there that just don't bother,
For sure.
It's snowing. Where are you, Josh?
It's not snowing.
It's snowing in the South right now.
Woof.
Like south of me.
Snowing, but it's very cold near Chicago. It is brutal.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to live in that cold.
You did. You said.
I used to live in Michigan, so it's like, no, Texas, no, don't want it. Can't do it. Blood thinned out. It's all about the authenticity. Yes. Chris, that's one thing I wanted to mention too, to John. Okay, so Chris runs this podcast called Movie Smash, and you go on there. He gives you a list of 300 and some odd movies to watch, and they're all based off of comics. And a lot of them you don't even realize are based off of comics. And so when you say like that's, Indie is the place and Indie is where all the new ideas are, that's 100% true. And a lot of times, this is where people pull for original ideas for movies, is from, because it's already storyboard. So sure. Important. Chicago got snow in?
No, we didn't get much snow. A dusting.
Yeah. Well, dusting is enough to shut us down.
Right. I have a buddy who lives in Tennessee, and we always joke with him, if there's a quarter of an inch, he can't leave the house for a month.
Yeah.
If we get, a foot, we're just digging ourselves up.
Yeah, they're like, John, you have to come to work. Get a shovel and wear your boots. Go warm up your car, please. It's like, oh my God.
It's horrible. I had to drive my kids to school today where I was like, man, they need to cancel. It's 21 below zero.
21 below?
Yeah.
It's
It was just
21
almost
here, and
close enough. Oh, it's 21
it's
degrees.
26 now. It was
Oh,
21
geez.
this morning,
That's a heat
and
wave up here.
huh?
That's a heat wave up here.
Yeah,
26.
that's nuts. Yeah, people were like, I wonder if they're going to cancel school, and I'm like, because it's 21. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, they just won't let them go outside for recess, but
Man, I do love living near a big city and going to concerts and all that stuff, but I do wish my family had not taken root here because that's the only reason we stay this far north.
yeah, because the fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we were in Michigan until it's like sometimes the job just takes you where it takes you, and that's how we ended up in Texas. And it's like when you experience living not in the snow belt, it's just like, oh, I could never go back.
You
I
went
could
from the
never go
snow belt
back.
to the center of the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's
Well,
drastic
it's not
change.
that bad. We're in North Texas at least, where
Oh,
it's like
okay.
we get
It's like
4
only
seasons.
110.
106,
Okay, that's not
106.
bad.
It's
Just don't
but
go outside between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and you won't
it's
melt
like from 12 to 3. Don't go
okay,
outside. You
at all.
combust,
Hide. Yeah.
and it's like your car. If you get in your car and you're wearing shorts, you have 3rd-degree burns on your thighs. Yeah.
Jesus.
from your car.
I guess I'll take the snow.
I won't. I don't want it. I don't
I
want.
can always put on more clothes. I can only take so much clothes off, then I'm
That's
arrested.
true. You're like, well, then your skin comes off when
And
you
then your
burn it
skin
off.
comes off. Yeah.
Right. And 3rd-degree burn, your skin goes bye-bye. But yeah, no, I don't like living in places where they have multiple names for snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they're like thick snow, sleet,
Yeah.
black snow,
That kind of
sleet, like icy, it's iced over. I don't know. Mm-mm. We done with that. We done with that. I think my first memory of snow day in Green
Oof,
Bay was
14 inches.
14 inches of snow. Ice days, yeah.
I think it's the same here in Illinois. It was like 18 inches. We had to jump out our window to get out of the house. Like,
Eh.
and when you're 6, you're like, this is amazing. Hey.
When you're a kid, it's great.
When you're an adult, you're like, this is the worst.
You're like, I don't know what to do with my life. Oven gloves yes. Thank you. I've done that.
Oven gloves.
I did that
That's
once.
great. I didn't even think about that.
I took a
Get
picture.
the oven mitts out.
Yeah. But we had 5 feet one year of snow. Where are you,
Holy
Colorado?
Canada?
Where are you, Whitefire? Snow and freezing weather is better than hot weather, signed a man from Central North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like North
We all say
Carolina would
that when
be
we
like,
live in the opposite, right? But I've been to like
yeah.
Florida in June and no, I don't
Well,
want
it's
to
just
live
so humid there.
Yeah,
It's like
you're
90.
sweating your face off.
Yeah, you sweat your face off. It's 90% humidity. I feel like I want to shave my head. Because your
I
hair
have
is
a shaved head and it was still horrible.
still
We went to
horrible.
Disney World. I was like, why are we here?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just sweating buckets. And with my hair, I feel like I have like a scarf all the time. So I'm like, keeps you warm. But when it's humid, it's just gross. It's just gross.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well,
you have your whole 2025 planned
It's
already.
all planned. We just got to get through this first one. Then the next one, you know how it goes. Check each one off and then move on to the next. We've already got artists working behind the scenes to get these books in motion. All the covers are done. So that's always the start. But yeah, I appreciate you having us on to talk about a busy year here in 2025.
Yeah, man. I look forward to watching you do your thing. I know I'm not in that. I'm in the chat group and I watch the chat group. Everybody's like, I don't talk much, but I'm still there and I see everything.
Yeah. It gets crazy some days, but
that creeper in the background, and then people ask me for cookies. That's how it goes.
Yay.
Oh, you're in Canada. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would explain
totally.
that.
But yeah, this is the best place to find me. I know it's cheesy. The
Thank
link
you.
tree link. I'm Part-Time Comics with an X on all social medias. I'm pretty active on there. So again, I'm always happy to share the little knowledge that I have. So if anybody has questions, you're looking to make that start in comics, I want people to learn the lessons I learned so you don't have to make some of the silly mistakes early on. So I'm always happy to talk to people, look at campaigns, do all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And thank you for doing that. It's so important for us as a community to help each other grow, because when, people get into comics for the first time, and I was there, where it's just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And there's a learning curve. So as people like Jon, as people like myself, we're happy to help you. You know what I mean? And again, you're going to get opinions. Everybody's opinion is different. Everybody's audience is different. So what works for Jon might not work for me and vice versa. So take everything with a grain of salt and make the best decision for you and your project. So thank you again. Oh, Glenn, that was so nice. Great work, Jon, and outstanding. Absolutely. Jon is one of those people that you want to watch and see what he's doing. I always pay attention and I'm like, what is he trying next? Because look at me. I took 2 notes today off of stuff that he's working on. So yeah, do that. Learn from the greats. And thank you everybody for watching. Next week, who's coming on? Tom Hutchinson will be here.
Probably
Talking
Corissa
about
Grant.
What?
And probably Corissa Grant.
Well, I think she's just like could really show up at any point.
Exactly.
Well, I think her campaign is going to be over.
Yeah, it's ending soon.
She's only got 4 days left. So if you guys haven't hopped on Worthy Chaos, her new one, Devastation, you better get in there. That was a short campaign. And that one's doing gangbusters. I think she's over 12. Let's go look at it.
12.5 last I checked.
Was it? Let's go look.
That's a big one, but don't be fooled. People look at those numbers. They think, oh my gosh, this person's, doesn't need my support.
She absolutely does.
We're always in the hole. Okay.
Yeah.
No campaign could, unless we did $1 million.
Right. But I mean, like, even with this, her cost of producing this is still, it's super high because with 260 backers, you're printing how many books and all of that merch and plus her art production. So
exactly. And I'm not underselling. We congratulate Corissa on an amazing achievement. Yes. A lot of people in our community don't reach the 5 figures, but again, all that rolls into the next book, the next series. Now she's got multiple series. So yes, all of it, even $1 supports. She is, she's an amazing part of the community, and we want to cheer her on to 6 figures next time. Who knows?
6 figures. That's amazing. And yes, not all pledges go through. So
that's insanely true. Especially on the bigger campaigns, you get hit hard.
Oh, for what's your issue on Friday? Okay. So tune in to see
what might be wrapped up by then. She might have made a mistake there.
Yeah, it says 3 days to go. It ends Friday at 8.
Oh, maybe that night. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it ends that night. It says 8 p.m. Central.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah, so she'll be right as it's coming down.
I was 200 backer. Sorry to tell you there. I was backer 200. Oh, I just read. My brain was like, what? My brain read it wrong. You were backer 200. That's amazing.
Nice.
Pledge bots. Don't even start with that. That's terrible. Pledge bots are a mess. Anyway. Let's wrap this up, people. We will see you next week. Join us for Tom Hutchinson and whatever crazy thing he's promoting is his, 15th year at Big Dog Inc., which is insane in my mind. And I'm looking forward to seeing, maybe he'll drop some exclusives on us, and I would like to see what he's popping out. So I love you all. Be excellent to each other. Kiss your babies. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I have to push another.
On the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave